Maryland's Cafe Society. From Maryland's Cafe Society. From Maryland's Cafe Society. All right, all right, all right. Well, it is that time, everyone. It is that time for another edition of Maryland's Cafe Society Radio right here on YouTube. Welcome, welcome to the show, everyone. Today is Saturday. It's June 19th, 2021, also known as Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. We'll talk about the fact that Juneteenth is now a national holiday, a federal holiday. We'll talk about it. Oh, and we cannot forget that it is Father's Day weekend as well. So we do want to shout out to all the fathers on this weekend. We wish you a very happy, happy Father's Day on tomorrow. All right, all right. And so we're just jumping in. It's a short show. We do have a wonderful show coming up next week on Tuesday that you really have to check out. And I'm just going to leave it right there. It's going to be a good one. So make sure that you catch us next Tuesday as well. All right. All right. And so how's it going for you? How did your week go? I had a great one, accomplished a lot, very, very busy. I did squeeze in some family time because, it's very important. I think the year 2020, if it has not taught us anything, it's taught us that we really do and really should make time for our loved ones, our family members. We get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and work and business and careers and hobbies and any and everything but family, right? And so I did make time for family this past week and had a blast. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our coronavirus update. John Hopkins is reporting less than 177.9 million COVID-19 cases globally. And that's just about 3 million more since my last report 9 days ago. Now, the number of deaths globally have increased about 94,000 since the last report. And that new number is approximately 3,853,341 new deaths globally. All right. And so when we turn to the United States, of course, we're still leaning with the number of cases as well as the number of deaths. There's now 33.5 confirmed COVID-19 cases here in the United States and 601,579 deaths. In terms of deaths, that's just an increase of about 3,200 since my last report. Yeah, 3,261 new deaths just in the last 8 or 9 days here in the United States. So the number has decreased drastically. That means, the people are getting vaccinated. And, I'm no medical expert, but I also believe that folks, there's probably some herd immunity taking place, as well as people are just still staying safe. They're practicing their social distances still, as well as wearing their masks. Now, listen to this. Amazingly, China, whose population is 1.5 billion, and where this all reportedly started, right? Well, listen, they now have just 103,503 cases of COVID-19, and their deaths are still under 5,000. They have 4,846 deaths. We talked about this a few months ago in terms of what did they do differently that we did not do here in the United States. we're not going to go into it right now, but I did read that China is also now vaccinating their people in record numbers. In fact, I believe if they haven't already, they're very close to hitting 1 billion vaccinations, um, just since I believe February, the early part of this year. So, maybe they're anticipating the other variants that we keep hearing about, which some experts, if you've been, kind of online and listening to some of the medical experts and scientists, they are um, trying to reiterate the fact that this COVID-19 situation is far from over. And so, I just ask everyone to, even if you've been vaccinated, just still kind of wear your mask in public places and spaces. Try to social distance as best as you can, and let's just all stay safe and keep ourselves protected. All right, and then in terms of the United States Labor Department, their latest report from this Thursday indicates that there was a slight rise in first-time jobless claims. That new number is 412,000 claims that were filed last week. And of course, experts are saying, the economists are saying, don't worry, because it had dropped under 400,000 a couple weeks ago. But anyway, they're saying it's nothing to worry about. And, um, uh, by all indications, I think here in this country, at least, things have opened up, and many are trying to, in terms of businesses, that is, and government and so forth. Everyone is trying to get back to normal, or as close to normal as possible. And so, I think the number is just going to continue to drop or kind of hover around where it is now for the next coming weeks. All right, and so there's some good news for the Affordable Cares Act. In a 7-2 vote, the Supreme Court justices have ruled that Texas and 17 other Republican-led states do not have any legs to stand on in terms of challenging the law in a federal court. So Obamacare has survived once again. Now, the good news is for the 31 million Americans who won't lose their health insurance and protections. Now, the Affordable Care Act's popularity is at a record high. In fact, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 54% of Americans view the health care law favorably. Premiums have fallen in the last 3 years or so, that's according to the Urban Institute. But they're saying that this Affordable Care Act has continual criticism because some believe that the out-of-pocket costs are still a bit too high. But President Biden is continuing to build off of this Obamacare, this Affordable Cares Act. In fact, back in March, in the COVID relief package, he approved higher federal subsidies for private health plans offered through the Affordable Care Act, and larger federal Medicaid payments for states that expand insurance coverage to more lower income adults. So, you know, I am in agreement. I believe former President Barack Obama went on record after this took place this week and said that the Affordable Care Act is here to stay, and I am in agreement. I think it's working. All right, and so as for other news coming out of the White House, the president signed a historic bill on yesterday, which established Juneteenth as the 12th federal holiday. Now, June 19th, for those who don't know, is a celebration that marks the day in 1865 when news of emancipation finally reached Galveston, Texas. Yeah, that was 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation had been signed. that, of course, officially ended slavery. And so, obviously, the people in Texas began the celebration that following year on the 19th of June, and ever since. In fact, in 1980, it became um, an official holiday. And throughout the years, we've had other groups that have been pushing to recognize Juneteenth as a national holiday. And as we all know, last year, after the police killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and other Black Americans, Juneteenth entered the national conversation once again. And so, again, it's the first federal holiday created since Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1983. Now, what that means is over 2 million federal employees here in the United States will now have the day off with pay. And it does not mean that private companies across the country are required to give their employees paid holiday off, but some big companies like Nike and J.C. Penney and Target have already recognized Juneteenth as a paid holiday. And we know that there are several states here in the United States that also have established Juneteenth as a paid holiday, official holiday. Now, the irony, many of us are very excited and happy about this symbolic um, act of Congress and the president. However, it's ironic um, that there's still other crucial legislation to end racial discrimination and economic inequalities just sitting in the House or in the Senate, or is just still conversation, like the George Floyd Justice Act and the voters' rights and protections, and even reparations for the atrocities of slavery that still haunt Blacks to this day. So there's the celebration on the one hand, but folks are still pressing to have more substantial and crucial legislation passed just as quickly as this one did. So we'll keep an eye on it and keep you abreast as well. All right. Um, in terms of business, listen to this. A couple of months ago, there was the huge ship that turned somehow in the Suez Canal, causing a shipping backlog that made the headlines for weeks. You guys heard about it, and some supplies and things that we ordered or were looking for in the stores were, delayed. But now there's a couple of shipping backlogs taking place in China. And the worst of them all is that Yanshan, which is the largest port in China and the one that exports more than 90% of the world's electronics. Now, what's causing it? Well, apparently there was a spike in COVID cases just last month that caused a complete lockdown in that Chinese southern province. And of course, other busy ports were also affected. Now, the good news is the lockdown only lasted a week because, the COVID cases began to drop. And in most cases, some of the ports, about 70% are back operating. But there's still the problem. There's approximately 160,000 containers that are waiting to be shipped. And experts say the delays are caused, uh, the delays that cause this blockage are worse than when the ship that got stuck back a few months ago in the Suez Canal. Anyway, analysts are now saying that these kind of disruptions to supply chains are one of the main factors that's driving inflation to its highest levels in years, And as long as COVID-19 is around, disruptions like these will be the new normal. Yeah, retail is highly impacted when it comes to this COVID-19, and the whole process of shipping and packing, and then the delivery and the distribution, and then finally into the stores. And so um, if you find yourself having a difficult time finding, or if you discover you have to wait months for delivery of electronics or appliances, or even furniture and toys over the next few months, you will now know why. And that is because of the problem that they were having in one of the largest shipping ports in China. All right. Well, back in May, we learned that Wilson, the official basketball for the NBA's first 37 seasons, returned back to the game. Yes. And so recently they unveiled the league's new official game ball in advance of the 75th anniversary of the upcoming NBA season. Now, over the past year or so, the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association have worked with Wilson to develop and approve the new game ball through team evaluation sessions. Now, the game ball features the iconic NBA and Wilson logos and full grain pebbling, with the Wilson logo also including an anthracite inline. Now, Wilson's NBA official game ball will make its on court debut at the Microsoft Surface NBA Draft Combine in 2021. Um, Now, it's scheduled to take place on Monday, June 21st. That's this coming Monday through Sunday, June 27th. All right. So, this is going to be great. We'll get to see the ball. Now, it's going to be available for purchase exclusively on Wilson.com in the United States beginning July 29th, in alignment with the NBA Draft 2021, which will be presented by State Farm. Now, the NBA licensed Wilson products will be made available through key retail partners globally, including the NBAstore.com, Amazon, and others throughout the summer. And to coincide with the game ball reveal, Wilson is also introducing its first NBA advisory staff members. Yes. Um, I'll just name a couple of them: the 2020 NBA All-Star Trae Young, the 2016 first round NBA draft pick Jamal Murray, and three-time WNBA All-Star Liz Cambage. As official Wilson advisory staff members, they will play test, provide feedback, and collaborate on Wilson basketball products. The NBA advisory staff will continue to grow as the season approaches, and of course, Wilson's partnership milestones with the NBA will continue to roll out throughout 2021 with announcements and activations across the Women's National Basketball Association, the NBA G League, the NBA 2K League, and Basketball Africa League, and into the NBA's 75th anniversary season, as reported earlier. So this is a great win-win for Wilson and the NBA and all of its affiliates, including um, Microsoft Surface. So we'll be excited to see that. I really hate that I'm unable to. Well, I'm not going to say I'm unable to, but because I'm like an octopus, I'm kind of all over the place right now. I can't really focus on bringing you sports, but we'll get back to normal perfectly in this new 75th anniversary season for the NBA. I can't wait. All right. Well, listen, it looks like we have lost power on one of the hottest days of the summer. Are you kidding me? Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. Let's see. Last time I checked, I think our temperature was around 80. Oh, gee. Well, we'll just continue on with the show, and prayerfully, power will be back up uh, before long. And it looks like I have pretty good battery power to get us through the balance of the show. Boy, I tell you, anything can happen when you're putting together a show. So this is very interesting. Very interesting. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the stock market report now. It's being reported that the Dow has had its worst week since October 2020 and dropped 533.37 points to 33,290.08. The S&P 500 is also down 55.41 points to 4,166.45, and the Nasdaq fell 130.97 points to 14,030.38 points. Now, these drops are due to investor concerns after the Federal Reserve signaled this week that it may raise short-term interest rates a couple of times by the year 2023. All right, gold is down $5.80 per ounce to $1,769 per ounce. And oil has increased 60 cents to $71.64 per barrel. All right now, um, we're going to shift to, are we done? Oh yeah, I think we're done, guys, because I was keeping this show short due to some other business I have to take care of. I did want to just pop in today, but just real quick to let you know what we're experiencing here outside of this power outage that just happened during the show. Our temperature is currently at 84 degrees, but with the heat index and humidity factored in, it feels more like 90. And that is supposed to be our high for today. We're supposed to hit 90. And again, factor in the heat index, and it could potentially feel like it's in the mid 90s. So that's where we are. So again, pray for us here that we get our power restored so that we can be comfortable in all of what's happening. All right, with the heat and everything. Okay, so one last thing before I sign off. The Black Heroes Matter Coalition. You guys have heard me talk about that in the last 6 months or so. It's an organization that recruited me to help them improve some things in the greater Chicagoland area, but specifically within the city of Chicago. And so, some of the initiatives that they are currently working on, that we're currently working on, is to get Jean Baptiste Pointe DuSable, the founder of the city of Chicago, one of the first settlers here in the Chicago uh, proper, who was responsible for creating this great port where there was business and commerce and so forth happening. Well, anyway, um, their push is to get him properly honored. And so they're asking for the leadership in the city of Chicago to rename Outer Lakeshore Drive to Jean Baptiste Pointe DuSable Drive. They're also asking for a city holiday, an official city holiday, as well as a monument that's 25 feet in height at the very least. And they want these things to happen. We want these things to happen pretty quickly. And so, if you've been watching the news, paying attention to the newspapers, it's been talked about quite a bit. You know, we've been bombarding city council meetings and the mayor and so forth. You know, the big question a lot of people are asking is why is renaming Outer Lakeshore Drive the end all to be all? And it is not. We know that the mayor has come up with a plan that's valued at about 30 to $40 million to properly honor Jean Baptiste Pointe DuSable. But what that plan does not include is our ask of renaming Outer Lakeshore Drive to Jean Baptiste Pointe DuSable Drive. And the reason is because, much like this Juneteenth federal national holiday that has just been instituted, it's a act of symbolism. It's a symbolic way to acknowledge DuSable. It's a way to honor him in the most grandiose fashion, but it also is a way to symbolically connect the South Side of Chicago, which is mostly working middle class blacks and other people of color, to the North Side of Chicago, which is mostly middle wealthy class whites. It's also a way to show Chicagoans and Americans and even world citizens just how serious Chicago leadership, as well as the people of Chicago, are when it comes to chipping away at institutional and systemic racism against Blacks and all people of color. So we're going to press on with this. We're expecting that vote to come down on Wednesday, June 23rd. We want all of you listening to join us at the rally where we're going to celebrate the renaming of Outer Lakeshore Drive to Jean Baptiste Pointe DuSable Drive on this Wednesday, June 23rd. Meet us downtown at the Chicago City Hall. They'll be gathering on the Randolph Street side across from City Hall in front of the State of Illinois building around 9 a.m. And of course, those coming will be gifted something, and you can go to Eventbrite and search for DuSable Chicago to actually register so that you can ensure that you receive your gift. All right. So eventbrite.com and then search for DuSable Chicago to officially register for this rally on Wednesday, June 23rd, peaceful rally and to ensure that you receive your gift. All right. So we sure hope that you are able to make it. All right. I think that's it, everybody. That is all I have for today. I'm going to go and see what I can find out what's going on with the power and end the show now so that we can make sure that we get it up and posted to YouTube. But before I do that, I do want to remind you what the new word is for this month of June, and that is Empyrean. Empyrean, and it means relating to heaven or the sky. I blogged about the word too, so make sure you go to the blog on WordPress, Maryland's Cafe Society on WordPress to read about it. Also, go to the website, marylandscafesociety.com for all the links to the blog as well as all my other social media. And of course, here on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I must tell you what love is before we go. And love is when you know it, I went to a different room for the recording. And of course, it's dark because we don't have power. So let me see if I can get some light to see what this is. Okay, love is knowing you're in loving hands. Love is knowing that you're in loving hands. I like that. All right, everybody, as always, it's a pleasure and a privilege to hang out with you here on Maryland's Cafe Society on YouTube. And I'll see you on the next show, and it's going to be a good one. So make sure you check it out. Peace, everybody. Have a good rest of the week. And once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, and happy Juneteenth to everyone else. Peace.